What's up guys, Batman here, and today I'm giving you my review for Starfield, the latest game from Bethesda. I'm going to first talk about some of the things I didn't like about the game, and then I'm going to go into some of the things I liked. Overall it's positive stuff, but definitely stay to the whole video to see my rating of the game. So overall I will say Starfield, enjoying it. I have several hours into the game. It's a game I could see myself playing for a long time to come. Now, while the game overall feels really good, it's a good spot, and I feel like it was released at a good time, I do feel like it could have stayed in the oven just a little bit longer. And the reason I say that is because some of the things just don't flow as well as I feel like they could have in the game. And also too, some of the UI, for example, even the main menu, which isn't that big of a deal, but navigating the UI specifically within the start menu, and what does what and how to use this, it doesn't ever feel like it's very educational. It feels like it's more that you kind of learn it as you go, instead of being able to say, hey, you know what, I want to do this, how do I do that? And that goes to a lot of the subsystems. You know, there's crafting you can do in this game, there's weapon upgrades you can do, even one of the most popular things you're seeing, which is modifying ships. It's not very clear right away how to do all that or where to go for that. It just says, you know, you just happen to talk to somebody and you're like, oh, I can view and modify my ship, sure, let's go do that. And then it's like not clear at all. And they do try to describe things kind of briefly, but I feel like there needs to be a lot more in-depth, hands-on while you're working on it, while you can do it, and they show you the examples as well. So that was one of my nitpicks. One of the things I have the biggest issue with is the star map. When you have the whole thing filled up, you can kind of navigate, but it's not really user-friendly, I feel like. On top of that, when you're like, hey, what's that one planet that has a spaceport that I've been to? I wish there was a way to almost filter out results that you could be like, oh, hey, I've been to this place. And I know that they're taking a lot of what they've learned over the years from Fallout and Skyrim, but those were on single planets. Like, this is just one planet for these two different games. And now you go to Starfield, which is several planets, and I just wish there was a way to filter certain things or look for more things or more helpful tools in order to find the things that you're actually looking for. And while those may seem a little nitpicky, they are definitely some concerns of mine that have affected my enjoyability of the game. If they'd given the game just a little bit more time to kind of flesh those out from the player's side of things. Now, moving on to some of the things I like, which there's a lot, but I'm going to try to be as, short, sweet, and to the point with it as I can be. The gunplay. The gunplay feels really, really good. When I'm comparing it to specifically Bethesda games of the past in combat. But with Fallout, it always felt like you had to do the slow-mo, pick a target, and it was almost every time you had to do that, or you weren't necessarily going to win. It almost felt like you just had to do that too much and rely on it too much. And I'd rather sometimes just to focus on the gameplay and just play, not focus on, oh, I'm going to try to do this slow motion thing and do this thing. Not saying that I don't like that for Fallout, I just feel like it's a little overused. Now, they do have that for spaceship combat, but I like that because when you're trying to capture an enemy ship, you want to disable their engines. And I like the fact that you can go around and just steal ships if that's what you want, and modify ships and go from there. But I like the fact that you can go around stealing ships if you want. Also, I was hearing people saying, you know what, I spent 12 hours just going bounty hunting and just chasing down all these different wanted fugitives. A buddy of mine was telling me that he spent 4 hours on a planet trying to survey it 100%. And he was like, I can't find the last thing. There's a reason that people are still playing Skyrim 12 years later, and that's because of the amount of sheer possibilities is insane. There was a guy who filled his entire ship full of potatoes, and not to mention the awesome ship builds that I've seen online, where you can turn things from, I've seen Star Wars ships, Halo ships, Star Trek ships, Mass Effect. The Batwing made an appearance as one of the things. The Magic School Bus of all things. So I've seen so many different things. I will point out one thing I wish that they could do is have like a quick read that could be put off to the side so someone could take a picture of it and say, oh, you want my ship, this is exactly what parts I did. And then someone could just go online and Google, oh, where do I go get this part or this ship? Because The one that I want to do the most is Serenity from Firefly, and I've seen that one done as well. And that's one thing I do want to say that I love about this game as well, is that it gives me sci-fi western vibes like Firefly, and that's one of the reasons why I want that ship, because it just feels, and I like games that give me that kind of feeling, that it feels like you can be a gunslinger in space. And I also love the fact that this game is a new franchise, because their creativity, their attention to detail is so good. So the fact that they finally took it to the stars, it's amazing. Overall, I would have to say I give this game a 8.5 out of 10, and mostly just because I felt like, again, it could have used a little bit more time in the oven. It could have been more helpful. I feel like most of the stuff I've discovered, I've had to Google instead of just being in the game. And while I don't think there's anything wrong with game guides, especially considering this is a gaming channel with some guides on there, I feel like the majority of what you want to do, like modifying ships, should be something that you can just go jump into and see exactly how it's done very easily, or have a way where you can just hit start, you go to settings, and on that list of like quick save, load game, it has tutorials, and you could go into those individual things, and there's a voiceover saying and a video demonstration saying this is how you do this. But let us know in the comments what you think. Do you think this game deserves to be Game of the Year? I definitely think it has the potential to go that far. But that's all we have for today. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching TST Gaming. Until next time, just play.